from Cincinnati, Ohio, and Bowie, Maryland. Podcast covering the people behind the bots. I'm Jake.
And I'm Brandon.
We're so happy to be here with Brian Kaspr, the event organizer for happening later this year. We can't wait to talk about him, how he got here, and what's coming up. If you like our show, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, TuneIn, Castbox, Player, follow us on Facebook at Behind the Bots. Go subscribe to the Behind the Bots YouTube channel. We love having you here on live. Brandon, what is the Combat Robotics event calendar for August?
All right. So August is interesting. It is currently having events in the U.S., U.K., Canada, Australia, and Germany. So we're a little down. Actually, the number of countries doing stuff, but not number of robots. See, the biggest upcoming events remaining in this month in August, like the half of August, is the Robot Renegade Summer Showdown in Stuart, Florida. 73 robots will be competing in the ant weight, plastic ant weight, and beetle weight classes. Get details on these events and more at robotcombatevents.com, buildersdb.com, and bristolbotbuilders.com. And now, our guest, Kaspr, Brian Kaspr, I should say. Welcome.
What's up, party people? I'm so thrilled to be here, but I'm honored as always. But when Jake originally asked me, I also asked him, what the hell are we going to talk about? Damn it, I said cursed right away.
Oh, that was such a strong start.
Can we start over?
Actually, your first reaction was, wow.
I did ask.
First reaction.
I did ask if I could curse, and I will do my best not to. I'll say fart and heck.
Nope, none of those things.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so
all right.
For people who haven't met you, you're very new, you're kind of new gen at this point. You've been this for a year now. How'd you get here? How'd you fail upward into your position?
Who are you and what are you doing?
Yeah, thanks, Brandon, for being more polite about it. So my origin story is that I originally came on the fan experience and spectator experience side of things. At the time, Sam was doing most of that, basically solo, and he just needed some backup and some assistance. And so I was brought on to do that and to really look at things from that point of view for NHRL. Fast forward into the summer of last year, with some kind of changes and things that had happened at NHRL. I had a bunch of conversations with Kelly about what was, needed, where she saw the gaps, how she thought I could potentially fill them. And I think ultimately, I think really laterally about a lot of different things. So I think to Kelly, it just seemed like an easy fit to kind of slot me into this. And Mom taught me to work hard, so I worked hard at it, and here we are.
Yay, Mom Kaspr.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so you came here, looked at the robot world, thought, how am I going to fix this place? But
I don't know about that, but yeah.
I mean, well, hopefully we'll see. Hopefully,
not fixed. Not fixed. How can it improve upon what is already been built?
How can this become bigger than the NBA, bigger than the World Cup? That's our goal.
Okay. Yeah.
And so part of our, so part of the interesting bit is probably, whenever people see you, I'm just going to dive in one of the earliest questions that kind of covers a bunch of them. We see really cool art of just everything you wear, your shoes and stuff. Right now you're wearing a very cool shirt. Where even is that? So you can tell us a little bit about sort of your background, presumably art background and such, and sort of that story as well.
And I think that starts to play into why Kelly first had those initial conversations with me, is because my background is that of art practice. I went to school for sculpture and printmaking. So that's critique environment. That's looking at things, trying things again, thinking creatively about things. But then also, being a struggling artist, you work a lot of hospitality jobs. So I had that sort of piece of the puzzle too. Basically every role you could have in a restaurant, I did it. And thinking about things from sort of a guest's point of view, which again is why I was brought into the fan experience stuff. And my wife and I also own a wallpaper company called Flat Vernacular, which starts to get into some of, business mindset and understanding, budgets and sticking to budgets and, how to, meet bottom lines and things like that. So I think that's all those sort of three things coming together is what brought me here. But yeah, I come from an art making background, still doing it. Still love it. I can't not do it. What was the question? Did I answer the question? My background.
That did get a lot of it. Yeah, it's like who are you and what are you doing, and more particularly like your art background with it too. I mean, second to that, which kind of builds off of it. So you have notably cool shirts and like cool shoes, which are asked for particularly by Ashley and Co on the intro Discord. So like, where do you get all that? Is that part of what you're producing as well, Fat Vernacular, or other things?
I mean, I've always like even since I was a kid been drawn to color. When I was a straight edge punk rock kid, my hair was every color under the sun. I don't think I own anything black. Like I don't think I even own a pair of black shoes. So it's just something that I've always gravitated toward. Jake just messed with the audio. It caught me off guard.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
To muscle through it. So it's just always been part of my personality. People often, when I was in school, they always thought I was from California because I always wore like bright, loud colors. A lot of, I don't know, I see it as simply put as outward expression. It makes me happy. I like surface design, so I want to bring it into just what I wear. A lot of my shirts to the very specific answer to the question is most of my shirts come from my very good friend Tim, who goes by pentimento.shop, which is his Instagram and his website. And his grandmother taught him how to sew. They're all like one of one shirts made out of dead stock, like tablecloths and things like that. He's amazing. He's a great friend to have. I'll find things at estate sales and just like send them to him. And he just makes awesome shirts for me. I have way too many.
Are you saying too much whimsy? It's crazy.
Too much whimsy. I mean, I think like it was in college at one point when I sort of looked at my own style, and at the time I had a lot of t-shirts and things like that. And I just wanted to level it up. So I just decided that I'm going to not wear t-shirts anymore and just wear button-ups. Which is why, like, anytime I meet another dad and they say, "Oh, how do I not look like a total schlub?" I usually say, "Stop wearing t-shirts and wear shirts with buttons." That's like with men. It's so easy for men to like level up wardrobe. It's like that's literally all you have to do because the bar is so low.
Okay, you see, this is a life hack right here. That's good.
Yeah,
I can't believe we're less than 10 minutes in. We're already in pro tips for life.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it.
Man,
that's crazy work.
Shirts with buttons.
Are you saying that I should wear colors other than black?
Oh no, that's your thing, dude. You can't not wear black at this point. You're too far in.
Noted Black Cat Club founding member Jake Hoffman. Be absolutely crazy stuff to do. Couldn't imagine otherwise.
Gotta stay on brand.
Yeah. Gotta stay on brand.
Gotta stay on brand at all times.
Like Guy Fieri, he can never not have the backwards sunglasses and the bleached blonde hair. Exactly. You can never not have the necklace and the sleeveless shirt.
That's true.
Should I frost it?
No, that's too bright. Yeah, Black Cat,
Absolutely.
So as far as like the background goes, the art stuff, did that draw you to NHRL? Like I noticed that the fan experience is a big thing that led to the experience stuff, but like what brought you to that door?
This is actually this is the true origin story at NHRL. 2022, picture it. Jim Haney was still working here, and he actually, someone's knocking on the door. Yeah.
Oh. Secret door.
Oh, literally, someone is here knocking on the door, even though I put the "Do Not Disturb" sign out. Okay.
You're good. You're good. Continue.
Okay.
I'll edit it out. I'll edit it out later. Don't worry.
Jim
Continue.
Haney was working here. I think he was a henchman at the time. This is before Sam even came on. And I know, by the way, I know Sam from Baltimore days, like pre-NHRL.
Micah?
And
did you go to Micah by any chance?
I did, but Sam did not.
That's so cool, though. That's so cool.
That's my Baltimore origin.
Let's go. Maryland dominance continues.
Jim Haney had reached out to the city of Norwalk to get a mural for this building. And I was the voting member on the Arts Commission at the time. And the head of the Arts Commission suggested me. I came down here. I met Jim. I met Jimmy. And then they both were like, hey, you should just come to an event and see it. So I then met Kelly at that event. And 2022 was when I first came to NHRL. And I obviously, like everybody, I had come to know combat robotics by the company that shall not be named, and knew it. And the bot museum was here, and I recognized all the bots from it. So it was exciting at the time. That mural never came to pass. I actually still have the original deck that I sent to Jimmy.
Interesting. Okay.
So yeah, that was the first entrance into NHRL, and it has specific art ties actually.
Interesting.
And I love public art. Public art is incredible. So
that is good. I do like cultures that have like bright airs to them as well. Though I have to tangent a little bit here. Will we ever see the release of that art mural? Is that something that's on the docket that could be shown one day, somehow, some way?
So I've also painted buildings before they get torn down. It's just like a thing that I do when a house has a demolition sign on it. I ask for permission to go and paint it. And I have definitely mentioned that if this building ever gets torn down, then I want to paint it. So.
Oh, well, now you put us in a weird gamble. So now we have to hope for the demise of like a 165 water.
165, yeah.
Yeah, 165 water for the true mural to be unleashed. But that's like a time period.
Technically, I think I'm the person who would hire someone to paint a mural, so I could just hire myself maybe and just do it.
Is that even like conflict of interest things?
Yeah, probably.
How the law works for that. I feel like it would. It's like who would I hire? Me. So you're just paying yourself. Yeah. How much you're going to pay yourself?
Yeah.
As much as I want.
Well, it's funny at this, because I own a wallpaper company, I have a giant printing press at my disposal. So I've definitely printed large format stuff for NHRL before. So.
Ooh, that's actually another good tangent. Have you been able to see some of the stuff going on in NHRL Discord with people using like UV printers or stuff like that to try to like create those more detailed stuff? Like I know Zoe's done it for a lot of the recent Hive entries. They have like this really detailed top plates, like B-Force,
yes,
Honey Bombers, and Mine and Plus.
And I think one of the bot barons actually shared this. Someone made like it's like a desktop UV printer now, which I think is probably what a lot of the builders are using. I mean, the print technology is incredible. We started the company doing all hand prints, it's all hand silk screened. And at the time, digital printing was just not what it is today. We celebrate actually being in business for 16 years next week in 5 days.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's sweet 16. And now what it is, and the accessibility, not only like latex digital printing, but also the UV stuff. It's incredible. And so to see applications like what you're describing, where people are using it to do surface design directly onto a substrate is very cool. And honestly, it levels up all of it. It just like levels up the look. It levels up the aesthetics, the quote unquote brand of a robot, rather than just slapping stickers on it, which, is a thing. Are you going to buy a painting, Jake?
I'm shopping.
There's a chance. Looking at your website,
you mind if I shop?
Surprise paintings.
Surprise painting. You don't know what you're gonna get.
Ooh.
You never
so this
know
is
what you're gonna get.
any.
But it's good though.
We're plugging your website right now
too, as well. So I think about a lot of F1 cars and other race cars that have like full liveries. My brother loves them, full liveries and stuff. So I think if robots can come out the same way, I think like once again build out personalities. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think it's the thing. It's that brand recognition for fans and spectators is the thing that is going to help build that fandom. I think the reason that Mako is so recognizable, I mean, obviously Julian has a big personality, but the fact that you could glance in the building and glance at the TV screens and see that bot, relatively distinctive design, very distinctive color, and you knew exactly what it was.
You're like, yeah.
And so, and I you start to see teams doing more of that. I mean, the formation of Team Spectra, for example, which is super fresh, right? Max and Jordan and Mitchell, they kind of reached out to me because I had mentioned the thing about team building and uniforms and stuff in a builder meeting, and they reached out and they're like, "Well, can you elaborate more?" And I was like, honestly, just you want to be recognizable. You want people to be able to pick you out of a crowd, know that it's the Team Spectra bot fighting, and that's the key. Like, look at it through that lens. As like, I get it, because as robot builders, y'all just want to build robots, right? Like, you don't want to have to worry about your social media presence and making sure you're fitting within your brand guidelines, for lack of a better word. But at the same time, it's the thing that people who are coming to the sport new and fresh, you're giving them something to hold on to. I think it's the reason that Jake has become recognizable, because he had the black shirts and Maximizer is a distinct look, and like it's Jake. You know when he's there. And it will go a long way for, again, just sort of building fandoms and keeping people excited and engaged, because then they find that bot they're interested in. They're interested in Jake's personality, who he is. They want to know more about him and his story, and then they're rooting for him for life.
Exactly. Team Honey Cracked, they show up and they look like a team. You see that like massive block of yellow in the corner,
exactly,
and it's just like, they're here.
Yeah. Well, and it also signifies that it isn't that they're not just hobbyists, for lack of a better word. For someone who's just coming to it, it's like, oh wow, there's a bunch of people on this team. There's a lot that you all know that there's a lot that goes into this, but people who are new to the sport or who are not builders or who do not see that behind the scenes stuff don't know that. And so for them to look across the cage and see the blob of yellow, go, wow, it's not just this one person tinkering around in their basement. It is an entire team and ecosystem of builders and supply and knowledge that is going into this 3-minute fight. And that says a lot for someone who's, again, just trying to figure out what it all is.
So if you're a new builder and you're thinking about like entering the sport, and like, I remember being on the front side of that and really wanting to like make a splash at my first event and really stand out. What would you say to someone who wants to have their brand identity nailed down? What should they look for? I can think of what I looked at before I showed up, but
yeah, I think, I don't know, it's the things that you day to day are just sort of interested in and inspired by. I think for the best of the best, you can kind of start to pick up on it. I mean, Usagi is another really good example of that.
Yeah.
Like, Alex has the look and has the color scheme and the rabbit and the carrot, and there's like a little rabbit silhouette that's cut out of the blade. So like in the cage, I don't see this, but when I see pictures on Instagram of this beautiful pink blade with a little rabbit cut out, it's really just, it's the thing that you automatically gravitate toward, so that way you don't get tired of it. And honestly, just figure out that color scheme or the character or whatever it is, the aesthetic of it all, and just lean into it. And stick with it. And just stop doing black. Sorry, Brandon. I mean, Jake, you do black too. Stop doing black robots. Stop buying black filament.
Called you out.
Are you serious?
But he's right though.
Man.
Well, okay, but here's the thing, Jake. You did make an entire life out of it. But
I do Chrome too. I do Chrome. Yeah, I do exactly. Shiny too. Shiny.
Exactly. I will use Jake's example. He does have the maximizer shapes with the Chrome accent around the black.
Right.
So that's how he lives.
Like if you don't, like Colossal Avian is a good example of this too. It's an overhead, right?
Yeah.
And it's a big blue bird. It's which, by the way, there's a whole Sesame Street book where Bluebird gets painted blue that I've told them about, and I was like, you guys need to like steal this imagery. But it's like, again, and Kill Switch is another one. It's like you can pick up on it.
That's so good
across arena. But like, in a way, like you put Phenomenon next to Overlord next to Synthesis 30. Like, yes,
no,
there are differences, and we all know there are differences. I'm not trying to say there's not. But to someone who doesn't know those differences, you don't want to have to explain them up front. You want them to get it right away.
That's the exact thought I was actually going to bring up too. Because I know in my case, I'm an island. I'm one of the legacy people where we're kind of fine just being our own individuals and letting the individual stance be there. That's sort of the hard part. I'm surrounded by lots of great team islands. I founded Leatherbacks, but it's also the school, so I'm not going to go back to my alma mater per se.
Right.
There's Jake's team, obviously Black Hat Club. There's Leatherback, I said Leatherbacks, a Team Defective, who is also my neighbors, and Honeycracked, who are directly my neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm in the middle of all of them. I'm like, I don't want to have to bow to them. I'd rather be distinctive still.
No, and you should.
But
I'm not saying you should.
Yeah. No, but what challenges me to do then is to create the robots with a certain idea or image to it. It's part of why the new phenomenon looks different than previous versions of phenomenon, because it's supposed to look different than Synthesis, Overlord, Emulsifier, of whom it's inspired of, and inspired in turn. But it's supposed to be like, okay, this robot's a little different from them. Yeah. And the goal is to have that imagery in mind. So it catches a new silhouette to its shape. The blade can roughly be the same, but he's surrounded in a whole different frame and body type. It's like, okay, and now it feels different. So I'm picking up what you're putting down. That's going to be the key with all the robots as they do things, whether for local events or big events too.
You want to be able to adapt your designs, and in the case of TV and broadcast, you don't want people to miss who that is. But it's been a couple months now where I've advocated for allowing for more changes within the archetype, design changes, if builders can start to, again, make those sort of like identifiable traits about their robots. Why can't Mako run with big wheels? If we've got a bright green robot with giant wheels and the hammer saw's upside down, we know it's Mako because it's bright green. Like, I think that we should allow that, but you need to be able to, at a glance, know who's fighting, and I think that's some of the reason that this design rules strictness when you get into the top 60 has existed, is because of that. Otherwise it just feels like truly chaos.
Do you think visual identification is more important than, like, you think that are you saying that should supersede like official designation? Like, could I put a maximizer themed big wheels on my robot, and that supersedes the fact that, like, it's different in the eyes of the rules? Is that what you're saying, or are you saying that the visual identity is important?
I'm saying the visual identity is important. There's no doubt about that, and I think that visual identity can. I'm speaking about it from the point of view of people just coming to the sport and picking who their heroes are, or who the underdogs are, or whoever they're going to root for, and being able to recognize them. Waddles is a good example of this, where it's like they're modular, right? And they're a school team, so it's not even like Connor's not even on the team anymore. But they've got their like penguin aesthetic, right? That the modular weapon is always orange. So that's an example. So like, I don't think that the design, we shouldn't let design play. How do you say this best?
It's like forms shouldn't have to fight. Like forms don't have to fight function. They should work together still.
And to like relate it back to my world, like as an artist, like exploring materials, sometimes you need to move and try other things, and you don't want to get pigeonholed, and you want to try other things. And Jake should not have to have super specific weapon diameters just because he got into top 60 with a specific weapon diameter, as a very specific example. He should be able to make adjustments, whether it be to the entire design of the robot, or, as we know, like config stuff, he should be able to make adjustments to configs to be able to, go up against a big wheel versus another horizontal. And it should be allowed to be pretty different from each other. So the way we can start to make that case is by making easily identifiable robots and or teams and or people.
That's true.
Demonstrate that. I think that's a really long-winded way. It's probably a much easier way to say that. But
for me,
I get the idea.
From the rules perspective, what I've never understood is, why wouldn't you register as a modular robot? Because then you can just do whatever you want, instead of like So like when kind of this was getting looked at, I register Max as modular, but it's kind of, I mean, because I've got boost for it. But
Right.
Max is black and silver, boost is black and silver. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you look at it and it's like, oh, that's Max's, sidekick, right? Um, so yeah, I see those working hand in hand. Zach Knight thinks he can just text me and ask whatever question he wants.
Put it at the end. Make him wait for it.
He makes it.
Don't give in, Jake.
I don't understand it. I don't understand his question. Yeah, he's looking at his phone live texting me
stream.
right now. Yeah.
I mean, hi Zach.
Hi Zach. Glad you're tuning in. He's asking if I don't know if he's asking. He's asking his robot's pink, but his jersey isn't. Is that an example of a mismatch of design language? I don't know if it is or if it isn't.
It's the jersey's team jersey, so
right.
It does start to get hairy.
Right. Let's redesign. Let's redesign the team.
Let's do it. Bring up MS Paint. Let's go.
Let's do it.
I mean that's a good question, but I think it could be. And there's definitely there's a time where it's like, is it Jake Maximizer or is it Black Cat? And
Right.
what different situations call for different approaches in terms of identifiability. So I think potentially could be a mismatch. Also, I'm a really big fan of pink, so I'd say just lean into the pink team defective. He won the Golden Brett. He gets to decide the color scheme. But we could talk about team jerseys too. You have home and away, right?
Right.
I do like that a lot.
Or throwbacks, like you have throwback jerseys, or you have the Dodgers did like a Filipino night or something, where it's like they had all of a sudden there's red on the jersey, for the flag. So it's finding the through line of the branding. I mean, everything at NHRL is purple. By the way, my least favorite color.
Dang, that's crazy. Looking at the brim that's now around your head.
Yeah, wow.
Especially that like royal purple. NHRL purple is definitely one of my least favorites. He's going back to look at the paintings.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Not a lot.
Wow.
And it skews pink.
This one,
that one's got
the prom head fan for sure.
Definitely the most.
That's more. But even so, the jerseys home and away. I do like that through line. I personally love studying baseball team jerseys because they have some of the cleanest throwbacks I've ever seen.
Yeah, for sure. And so, it's like, what is it in those jerseys that becomes identifiable for the Dodgers? Now, obviously, these are multi-million-dollar companies with massive marketing budgets, and it's pretty easy for them to have Hello Kitty night. But nonetheless, it doesn't always have to be this like one thing. But it's like every brand, even NHRL, we have brand guidelines. These are the typefaces we use. These are the colors we use. This is when you use these colors. This is the light color. This is the dark color. This is how Sparky is implemented. This is when the caution stripe's implemented. Which I love to point out that black is not a brand color because we use black for everything. When in doubt, paint it black. I'm like, guys, it's not a brand color. In fact, one fact, when we were discussing getting rid of the desk, my biggest argument against it was the entire background is wood, and wood is not a brand of material because it's not. It's literally called out as no wood, except for the floors. So I think that's it. It's about just creating the guidelines for yourself. And if everything passes through those guidelines, you never have to really think about it. You never have to make that decision. Oh, should this be pink or not? Anyway,
like an automatic bucket. It's like you already know the action things are going.
Yeah.
Should I be bold and open up my Pinterest?
Yeah.
My Pinterest save. I would love to see your Pinterest, by the way. Is your Pinterest public?
Every single board is private, and they all have weird names. You would love my board called Witchy Thug Girl Pop.
I would like that a lot.
That's an incredible name.
Ding ding ding. Yeah,
and I can never find anything.
Sending me that
private DM after the show.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind hitting me up after the.
Looking at this right now, looking at where we're looking right now, and for anyone looking, none of this should be surprising. that this is Jake Maximizer.
It's like a 15-year-old.
No, but this is exactly the point.
Yeah, right.
You have an aesthetic and a look. So if someone said, "Is this Jake Maximizer's or is this I don't even know. Is this Corey Nason's? If this is Corey Nason's board, it's Jake's, obviously.
Yeah, right.
So that's the point. Is and this clearly, like, this is your personality. This is the stuff you like. If you all of a sudden were like, "Oh, I actually really hate tribal stuff," I'd be like, "You're a liar." Or you poor thing, you decided this thing 10 years ago. But you know, what's the thing you're into?
Yeah. Be
into that thing. Let it inform, you know, aesthetic decisions. Yeah.
This is stuff that I've sent to artists before. So like I go to a tattoo artist, or I have gone to a tattoo artist for the top and bottom art, and so I'll send them a lot of photos of like in action shots, just so that like they can see like the movement and how it's gonna look when it's in the arena.
Hell yeah.
So like not just it's like when you think about like decaling your robot, like think about it from a distance as well. Like it's got to work up close, you know, it's got to look good up close, and then it's got to look good from, you know, up to 16 feet out, and then it's got to look good at angle too.
Yeah. I mean, and
I'm
that's
so glad we got away from the pink stickers. Oh God.
Hell yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think, and that too, like you're saying, you're sending pictures of your robot to a tattoo artist to help you design a mark for your brand. I mean, that is like, it's a whole other level of design evolution. And if I were a designer designing that mark for you and you sent that to me, that's like a ton of really awesome information for me to take. Okay, cool. Yeah, this informs a lot. This isn't just, you know, a tribal design. This is a tribal design for a very specific thing.
Yeah. So when you're sizing up like one of these houses, like what, like, to kind of make an equivalency here, what are you looking at that informs, you know, here's the forms that I'm going to use, here's the color palette that I'm going to use, here's what I want the final product to look like?
There's sort of, we'll call it 3 phases of you know, this sort of public art like this specifically, and even of paintings too. Everything starts out as a collage. Yeah, I think you can, when I say that, I'm sure you can start to see it. Because to me, collage is super accessible. It's really fast. I can make a ton of mistakes. If I make mistakes, it's not a big deal because it was basically junk mail that was sent to me, or old Life magazines or something. I love using junk mail. I use like the security envelope from checks all the time, or like bills. So that's step 1, is like make a stack of collage, and works on paper. And then these are paintings, by the way. So so the best of those collages become either painting or a mural. Cool. And so that's step 1. Step 2, I then take okay, which bits of this do I want to start to edit out? You know, maybe it has imagery that doesn't fit with, especially something like a public art project, or in this case, there's the loon on the side of the building.
Yeah.
It was in Maine. It was on Loon Lake. They wanted to include the loon. So I found a place in the original collage to be able to insert that, where it was like a dark shape. I could add a loon in. And then for public art, especially, it's environment. You know, certain colors. I'll get there and be like, wow, this yellow is super wrong. And make adjustments on the fly, which makes finding mural clients who understand that difficult at times. Where there's a lot of trust. I ask people who hire me for big public art projects like this to be like, this is your sketch. These are the tweaks I'm going to make to this sketch. And then there may be further ones in person. And no, you can't see any process pics. You either commission it and you pay for it, or you don't. And it allows me the freedom, because otherwise it's just like a chore. Right. It allows me the freedom to make some of those decisions based on where I want my artwork to go. And the same goes for like painting commissions, which is also nerve-wracking because they're paying, you know, a couple $1,000s for a painting, and I will show them. I'll show them a sketch. I'll show them a few sketches, those collages that I mentioned. Here's a bunch of collages. Pick your favorite. What size do you want? And then I deliver a painting. Like, you don't. Wow. I don't show you anything in between.
Yeah.
It's only backfired on me one time.
Well, that gives you a lot of freedom, like in the intermediary, where you can like go backward. You know?
Well, and I'm making it. I'm making it for the love of making it. I'm not. Otherwise, it's the reason I stopped being really active on Instagram, because when I was on Instagram and painting and filming myself painting and taking process pictures and editing and doing all this stuff, it always felt like there was someone else in the room with me, like watching me paint, because I was thinking about it from the point of view as, oh, is the camera in the right spot? Does this color look good on camera? Are people going to quote unquote like it? Which is just like not a good way to make art at all. But anyway,
that's interesting. That's yeah. Well, I used to make YouTube videos and
Ex YouTuber, huh?
Ex YouTuber. I came across a lot of the same feelings where it was like, because eventually you'd reach a point where you're like, this is fucked up, and like I have to go backward. Oh, I cursed. I'm sorry. Like this is messed up. I'm sorry. And I gotta go backward. And then I just shot like 10 hours of footage that like I don't want to show anyone, and I remember making a tail in like the wrong material, and it's just like, what do I do with this? And just, yeah, you're right. It feels like someone else is in the room. Interesting.
yeah.
Interesting.
I was curious about, going with that too. That's part of what I find interesting about combat robots, because you have a functional art. Many times it can be viewed like that. Like there's a spectrum of.
There's a lot of parallels.
Yeah,
exactly. There's a spectrum of, I want the most competitive robot ever, and there's also a level of like, this is also a physical expression of myself made manifest that has power. Like do a thing very well. And part of the beauty is perhaps seeing a lot of the robots doing that kind of thing. It's part of why we have this right here, is because us talking to builders about their fights, it's the same kind of implicit providing this way. I talked with Valkyrie when we talked about the art in the episode. That was the big emphasis we were looking at. It's like, how does it portray how we feel? And Valkyrie having like these very clean, sort of like almost like a fighter jet kind of shapes by the end of it, and how it currently appears, you're like, yeah, it's clean, professional, and it has a shape to it. You know what Valkyrie is. I think it's one of the recognizable robots in the big world. So in the same way as we're talking about here with like smaller robots, it's very much like, that's right. Like Jake isn't just Maximizer's trophies, Jake is also Maximizer's aesthetic, and Maximizer is also Jake's aesthetic. And how Jake is, besides in the pit side, as well as arena side, is how Maximizer is in the arena doing its thing. You actually kind of see parallels of like him freaking out, getting roofed by Zach. Maximizer, like same ideas are being on display, and that carries a lot of activity there.
Yeah, for sure.
And like Bob bleeds blue. Everyone knows this.
Bob's blue
because
he's a fish.
Right, he's a fish.
Wait, are we still in the intro? Because it still says intro on the screen.
Do you want me to change it? I can
technically, I suppose technically,
art.
I mean, we kind of are. We're kind of hitting like the
art.
Pretty much.
Bob bleeds blue.
Bob
bleeds.
This is true. Everyone knows this. This is true.
It's true.
It's funny because the just to keep using Maximizer as the easiest example because he's right here, but
you don't need to do
everything about.
Please do.
Jake has a look, in and next to the arena. The bot has a look. The bot has a style. All that. That also builds like rivalry too. Like there are people like I know people who have said that they don't like Jake. Like fans,
they're like, a lot of people.
They're like, oh, he's like, it's just whatever. He's this guy.
That guy.
He's like this rock and roll guy.
Sure.
But I'm like, it's
happens often.
That's amazing because that means that people are engaged with what's happening and with what we're doing, because then they start to root against Jake, and then all of a sudden some other rivalry pops up between whatever Jake and Zach, and now all of a sudden those people are now on Zach's side because there's this rivalry.
Do you think all engagement's good engagement? I mean, I tend to think so.
Yeah, I think. I mean, unless we're talking about like hate speech, but
right.
Yeah.
Within. I'm sorry. I would say within reason.
Yeah.
Like engagement is good. Within reason, I guess. Yeah.
Totally.
Like totally. Negative engagement is still kind of.
Well, and I think, and that's it's funny because what you're saying and sort of negative engagement or this competition environment.
Yeah. I want to maybe negative engagement's the wrong thing. I would say like competitive engagement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's a
one of
better
the things
way to
that
say it.
surprised me the most about the community is like how accepting, how warm, how generous all of it was. Because you guys may have these rivalries cage side or in the cage, but then when it gets back up into the pits, and I'm sure some people don't like each other and whatever, that's all. But the same for the most part, like it's all good. We're sharing batteries, we're swapping information, we're all trying to beat Kazaa, whatever it is. And that so yeah, it's competitive and it may feel negative for lack of a better word, but ultimately it's just not.
Yeah. No, that is kind of interesting bit about it. It's part of why, I mean, for one example, every time I go up to a competition and there's a Megatron that shows up, it's like, so you can beat Megatron? And I'm like, man, I'd like to. I'm 0-6 against him. But that's not perhaps as felt as like the personality built around it, because you have like the dynamic of like, I went already here, Maximizer versus Prime or like Buzzkill fighting Prime Heda against the world, I guess. And you have these like dynamics of like rivalries here. Like I really like this person because they've been standing out to me really, really strongly. Like I've, like you said, really enjoy seeing Jake's progression. But then Zach has like beat him. So you're like, now maybe I'm such a fan of Jake, I may dislike Zach. But hopefully it's all within the bounds of like, that's because the robots are so good and I want to see them succeed so much. Not because I want to see one get torn down. Like I would not want to see Prime Heda just randomly smoke up on fire. I would love to see a 3-minute battle where Maximizer, tactically takes down a wheel, then a weapon, and a side, and then it wins the end by buzzer.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny that you bring up like the Megatron example is a good one. It's like there's such a spotlight on Jameson Go, and this is a bad example because Liam isn't a 30, but Buzzkill is like silently just sneaking up, taking dumpsters. He's got 4 now, and it's like, he's not, because he's sort of quiet and he's just like figuring his design out and figuring his craft and figuring out his driving and like just working at it. He's just like quietly like rising up.
He works
in the ranks
constantly.
Yeah,
he works constantly.
And it's like, let Jake and Zach fight it out. I don't know if we keep using this as if it's like an actual thing, but it's a good example.
Okay, it is great. To me. It might not be to Zach, but it is.
Let them
very
keep
real
doing that,
me.
and let the like media pressure be on the two of them. And I, Liam, am just gonna like slide in here and just getting dumpsters.
No, that's the secret. Because now with Liam doing that, because now Liam famously joined Team Spectra most recently, and having pedigree from Leatherback and pedigree from Honeycrack.
Right.
Now he has a very decorated career. You can look at him and you could say, what's a good sports? Like actually like LeBron, how he went between 4 different franchises now. You're like, oh, well, I follow Liam in particular. Like, yes, I'm a fan of Honeycrack, Leatherback, Spectra. But Liam as a character is really cool. And Buzzkill as a force is something I always look out for at competitions. Like if any Terrell says in a post, Buzzkill #1 seed showing up at Pro Tour, you're like, oh, well, now I need to see Pro Tour. I need to see Buzzkill. I need to see how this Liam story continues. Is he, in fact, the greatest of all time? Or Maximizer coming out of a stop. Does that mean Jake's like, no? And Prime Heda also being there could be like, no. So your top 3 seeds in the 12-pound class are all back to back. So now you get a very interesting storyline.
So many. And this is a really good segue into how many amazing groups there are at this upcoming pro tour.
All right, should we look at Pro Tour stuff? I just cut Liam. I just had Liam's wedge cut. I'm making Liam a wedge, so I just cut that like today. So
all right,
are
you sabotaging it?
So basically.
Funny world.
We haven't fought. We fought once at my second event, and then we have not, like, our paths just have not crossed. So we've just been steadily, I feel like, arming up against each other, like, separately, and that's been like very scary. No, we've all, because like I came up really fast and then he came up really fast at the same time.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
we just have never intersected because he always ends up on one side and I end up on the other. So
This could be the one.
I could. It feels like it's this close every time. All right,
Nice
let's look at the
edge.
group.
Pretty possible.
Where can I see the groups?
I don't know. Instagram.
If you go to the Instagram, yeah. If you don't flashbang on Instagram, hopefully. Hopefully nothing crazy happens.
I'm gonna
They're all
wait.
there.
I'm gonna wait.
Jake's thirst straps are gonna come up. Yeah.
Yeah. Pro Tour talk now.
Yeah, Pro Tour. We can get into Pro Tour.
All right, Pro Tour.
Good.
All right,
Good
we're
stuff.
on.
Actually, while Jake
Instagram.
looks it up, so like do a quick
We're
overview
We're
for
good.
us, Kaspr. Summarize Pro Tour for us real fast.
All right, so Pro Tour, it's first big event. I know we did the RIT and open source stuff before, but first really big event that we're taking on the road. There's a ton of work going into it. The new big cage is being literally put together now. Eamon and Ed are still here. So yeah.
Can you hear them like
grinding.
that's awesome.
They're literally grinding at yeah. This is not the groups, by the way. Oh, you just got. Oh, this is just.
I was looking for the picture of the big cage, or was that in our DMs?
I think I probably DM'd that too. Y'all see it soon enough.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's the second broadcast onto Zone. So more eyeballs, lots of eyeballs, really good groups. We've got a really good mix of obviously people qualified, but then a couple of wild cards have been tossed in there. Just look at this lineup. It's wild. So yeah, it's gonna be an exciting event, and it's gonna be a busy day.
You guys have been
they're the groups.
Yeah, there's the group stages.
Yeah.
You guys have been pumping the Instagram ads pretty hard. Have you seen good turnaround from that?
Not in my job description. That is.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was purely curious because I noticed that it was happening.
I mean, we're trying to get new eyeballs on it, right?
Yeah, right.
So the ads, I think are being obviously pushed specifically to the New York City region, so we can get people who are there to come, because we all know that seeing this thing in person is so much.
It's so much different.
You're hooked if you see it in person. Like
yeah.
I've driven in a whole bunch of demolition derbies, and one of my favorite things to do is to take total noobs to demolition derbies, because you just know they're going to be into it. So yeah, look at this. I mean, this one. Fuck. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Cursed.
So this okay. Well, this is not a group. This is the
that's the top.
The top seed, and then the groups.
Good
But
one. So okay, so we've got. Oh man, yeah. So there's a flamethrower in two of those groups.
Yes, yeah. Clyde and Dutch Oven.
That group with chainsaw is wild.
Yeah.
Watch.
We got Krabby. I already know Raven is gearing up. Raven and I, Raven came up to Louisville, Kentucky, visited my parents' house, and we went to an event in Jeffersonville together. They figured out some cool issues with Gummy Shark, so I think it's going to be in nice shape when it shows up for Pro Tour.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, she's arming up pretty hard against Dutch Oven. I'll be very curious to watch how that goes. I feel like everybody is in this group.
Kinda.
Is Max? I think Max is in the chat right now. Is
maybe if Max is Spectre account, perhaps.
Yeah, is he in the chat right now? Well,
I
don't know who's logged in on the Spectre account right now.
Chainsaw.
This group.
Mitchell Yaps.
This is sick. This is so sick. This group is sick.
Okay, so
Sam and I have gone groups back and forth on which two we think are going to get out of this group, and it's hard to call. Yeah, like literally anyone could have it.
So you have like in Group C, you have Chainsaw Kitty, easily one of the most powerful birds, consistently damaging birds. You have the rating champion Pandictus. You have Caldera, one of the most fought robots of all time, in Sting Operation, who's done multiple top runs in Nitro and outside comps.
And also just like another like he's sort of like Liam, where he's like a really nice guy and quiet, and has just been like silently winning. Like people like forget about Mark. He's like always kind of in to the top.
No, Mock's always there. It's always there. Bath group D.
And then
Group D's not bad too.
Usagi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's gonna be fun.
C is crazy, bro.
12
Yeah,
pound
that was
is
crazy.
horizontal city. Oops.
Yeah, it is.
Horizontal.
Oops. And Kevin holding out. I need a rematch with Kevin. I'm pissed. I got stuck in the wall last time. Is doesn't count.
This is a wild group.
Interesting. So you have a lot of archetype variants in 12 pounds wrestling today.
Yeah.
You have Liam with obviously horizontal. You have drum, multi-bot, and big wheel, which is just a diabolical lineup because they all, in theory, could counter each other. Like theoretically, could work one over the other. Like I would think
the fun group.
Yeah, like I think between these groups have a good diaspora of design work, which I'm really happy about. Really happy to see.
Totally.
Yeah, because Huge could eat Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler could eat Buzzkill. Buzzkill could eat Huge.
Mine Puzzles and multi, so they could do half and half on either of them.
Honey Bombers.
Honey Bombers. Honey Bombers.
Sorry, Honey Bombers. Sorry.
Yeah.
Silly me. I'm thinking too generic about Honey Crack. My own neighbors. Gosh, need to lock in.
Yeah, Jake, who are you worried about in your group, dude?
What?
Who am I? Jake Maximizer in your group,
dude. I fight Sievert first.
I fight Sievert first. I might
Sievert is one of these. Like, it's like every time I see that bot fight, and I've seen that bot fight with Chonky in like a random rumble or something, or maybe it wasn't Chonky. Anyway, but like that bot is durable.
Strong machine.
It's a brick.
Yeah,
it keeps going, and it sounds like he's been working on some of his like electronic issues he's been having, which is really the thing that I think does him in, is if I understand correctly. But
the spin up issues like kill horizontal.
That's it.
Like the first thing that you got to figure out as a horizontal, like if you're building a horizontal, is like how am I going to spin up like reliably? And like now that he's got that down, let's see. Let's watch Matt Lantry one shot Barinkus. So the Barinkus is also in our group. But he basically one shot it.
Yeah, dude, it's a brick,
and that's it.
And don't quit.
What I think is fascinating though is you have Sievert, who had a hard time against Buzzkill. Buzzkill's not in this group, but you also have a mirror match against Rhinestorm, being very comparable and like mid cutting, powerful, thick, chunky horizontal.
Oh, there's my son standing right there.
In the screen.
Yep,
he enjoyed that. He liked that fight.
Oh yeah, dude. I basically can't not work at this job because I'm just total dad points. Constantly.
That's pretty cool.
Whatever he does, whatever you do with this job, sounds like that's it. Keep going.
Mashed.
But,
So that.
But New York's gonna be wild. Yeah, I mean the 12s are fun. 30s are ruthless. Yeah,
the 30s are always ruthless. They're like a black hole.
Pyres. I see Pyre making it out of this one. I see,
Marlon,
Group B's got
all. That's all verts to its credit.
Yeah,
that's all.
Oh yeah, that's funny. That is.
Yeah, that's
the horizontals spread the other ones. Except
horizontals are all together, and then all the verts are together.
Except for
Barinkus.
Who made these?
It's interesting combo.
Barinkus is in the freaking spin.
The groups are based on where you basically your rank and or where you were when you qualified into Pro Tour.
Fair enough.
It's not there's no finger on the scale here. It's all math. I don't really.
It's all math.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's nothing like, because originally the first time we did Pro Tour originally was like, oh, we got to make sure we switch up archetypes, and then we thought, well, no, that's not very sporting of us.
Right.
No,
that's cool.
It
needs to be based on how you qualified in.
So that's appreciated.
Okay,
like,
so it is
as
math.
a Pro Tour, you want to do that.
Yes,
but it's okay. It's math with a lot of steps,
which is why
really count too good. So
which is why I mean, sorry Zoe, that Honey Bombers and Buzzkill are in the same group.
Yeah, right, because they did not mix it up. Yeah, that makes sense. And Promheta and Blue Marlin are in the same group.
And the only time that we would is if it were, God, what was it? There's
all stars or teams.
No, I'm trying to think of. There was an exception to if which we're not going to do again. But if like it's the two Kazas got in at the last Pro Tour, so like
Yeah.
we're obviously
I know,
never going to
right.
put them in a group together until
Right.
you know, which
Yeah.
moving forward is like now. I think the rule now is like you have to pick which spot you want to enter.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah,
you
I
can't
think
enter both.
that's the
There's
archetype of
Gord
kicking in.
dressed
right?
dressed like mid-level sales associates at a car dealership. They got they got
So-
to look.
What?
Sure, they got to be different.
They're like embroidered polo,
Or-
the rose helmet, like.
Yeah.
I went to a conference over the summer for student shop. It was a student shop managers conference, and I got to talk to. It was all different people who worked at makerspaces, and my favorite thing to do was to ask about their combat robotics program and then pretend like I had nothing, like I had no idea what they were talking about. It was pretty funny.
Mhm.
But the Rose Holman like shop guy was like, "Oh yeah, we got this great robot Gord. Yeah, you'll have to see it sometime." And I'm like, "I'm sure I will." So that's pretty exciting. Their match
you
against
have-
Synthesis was really good.
But you have Mulsey right there.
Yeah.
That's the 2-time champ.
Wait, what?
He's right there.
Yeah.
He's the 2-time champ.
He slipped by.
Yeah,
I didn't
Well,
even
yeah,
see
'cause he
that.
isn't-
I didn't even
you didn't
notice.
see-
Because he only
you didn't see
lives-
the name.
Yeah, because you didn't write. That's called.
Oh
stealth.
my gosh.
But yeah, because like he's
I
busy
was
being a
distracted by the polos.
busy human being. Busy being in that's crazy. Busy being in Ohio, so he's doing stuff, but he's
Yeah.
still him, and it's
Yeah.
important to note that he's still him.
Yeah.
So that's always here. But yeah, you put him next to Avian, next to Gord, next to Goose. So you
Yeah.
have violent vert, like lots of violence here in the 30-pound class. They're all just really mean machines.
Oh man,
And here we got-
It's gonna be so good.
We got Johnny.
Yeah,
We got Johnny.
There you go with Waddles, the orange nose, like you
yeah.
said
See,
before.
Yep.
Johnny versus Overlord rematch. Interesting. That was in June. That was dude. That fight was nasty.
That was wild.
Dirty.
Spartan's
who won it?
powerful.
That's a really fun rematch.
Spartan. Yeah,
Yeah.
I went to
I'm
JT,
sure
right?
Oh, it was
Oh,
that.
God.
Yeah, that first.
Yeah, it was this.
Yeah. Brutal.
And that was the first fight at primetime too.
Yeah.
Such a good.
Yeah,
first
it was
half
a
of
great
primetime.
start.
Yeah.
Really good
Set the
start.
tone well.
It set the tone.
Yeah.
Set the tone well.
Yeah.
And he's like,
So it was
Like this
"Oh."
being lopped in half and like
Yeah,
this was
It's a strong
insane.
powerhouse.
man, look out, Kazaa. Sorry, but Spartan's got your number, dude.
We're gonna see. I mean, Kazaa is a tank, truly a tank.
Yep.
So that's gonna be the hopefully lots of big sparks and hits though, because that means a lot of big hits like this one as everyone's trying to. Oh gosh, it's gonna split open. Oh, you can see the side coming out. Yeah, that's the beauty of it. You get to see a lot of these robots like doing their thing,
Yeah.
and hopefully, well, like here's an
Is that a-
interesting bit, and I'm
is
sure
that
you
a
can
cake
chime
switch
in on that
hanging
as
out?
well.
I think that's a cake switch hanging out. That's awesome.
So it's like something for you, especially Kaspr, as far as
Yeah.
like the logistics go for the event. So you're going to be at Terminal 5, which is already new because it's in New York City. I've not been Terminal 5, but it's in New York. It's pretty cool. But you also have to house these. Well, house. You have to have the pit and the viewer experience in there. So what was that like? Like how was the setup for that going?
Man, layout. I feel like layout was the thing that nearly broke us on this event. It's there were so many things to consider. It's builder experience, spectator experience, purely just straight up logistics of like where everybody's going to go, how it's all going to work, how it's going to flow. The pits and what we do in general is it's really hard to do it in spaces where and expect a carbon copy NHRL. So one of the sort of, for lack of a better word, unfortunate things about the pits is we have to split it between the two floors. There's just not enough singular space for everybody in one location. I mean, there was talk of like primetime pits being on the stage. There was talk of, literally putting the pits on the first floor, like letting fans like get close. And I can hear Julian going,
No.
no. You know, just like all these things. I mean,
no.
there's a parking lot next door to this building. We're like, hey, can we get in touch with the owners of this building? Like, can we put it outside under like a tent or something? So it's gonna be different comms, like in-ear comms, are going to be doing a ton of work on this event. There's just going to be a lot going on, and luckily, it's all experienced builders, so there's not a ton of like worry about someone doing something dumb in the pits or not being prepared.
Wait. I'm still I'm working on it. I'm not prepared yet.
You're not in New York City right now either, so
okay.
Fair enough.
I'm just saying.
But they know the rhythm. They understand all of it. So we don't have to do a ton of that, like, explaining of when to go downstairs and how to weigh in and cage the way you do cage side and all that. So like at least we've got 48 builders, 48 bots, really experienced. So like that makes that piece of it a little easier. It's really just making sure we know where everyone is. People are being really clear on the communication channels about what's needed and when. But I mean the first Pro Tour, we didn't have any forfeits in the pits. Everyone showed up on time. I think we only had one forfeit cage side, or TKO, or whatever you want to call it. Which was a good sort of like test for an event like this. It's like, okay, really manageable. I think even the sort of pit desk and the concierges and the steward, Ariel being the pit steward, even had like moments of downtime. And it's all busy, but like not the usual 160 bots like full tilt all day. So I think my hope is that with this event, we're gonna have a pretty sizable halftime, that builders will be able to like actually kind of enjoy this event. Like it's still competitive. There's still a lot to do. There's still, that image was brought up a lot.
This image of
a fight,
like a wrestling ring.
of a wrestling ring. Okay, so what has your communication been like with Terminal 5? Like, what do they know about us? What is that? How is that relationship been?
I don't know if they really understand what it is we do, but in a lot of ways, like I don't know that they really care.
Okay.
If we're following their union rules and their timing rules and load in and load out and not making a big mess and doing everything safely, they kind of don't really care. I think they're going to be blown away. I think they're going to be pleasantly surprised at how it's not a fine, a sit down dinner or a fashion show. I like one of those. Sick of Terminal 5. Check out this. That was one he just passed.
So this is one of the so this is images. Is this the upstairs area? I legitimately have not looked at pictures of the venue yet.
These are super old. It doesn't.
Okay.
So
it looks like the back room's up there.
Definitely no chandeliers there anymore.
Fair enough.
Okay, so these are old pictures.
Yeah,
but okay.
This is shot on a toaster.
Yeah, sorry. But okay. Like, man, why are there no good, like, well lit photos of the inside of concert venues?
If you look in the
this one's good.
Drivers channel, I posted the virtual tour. If you want me to,
can I?
Oh,
let me look at that real quick.
I think I pinned it too. Maybe. Anyway, but yeah, the Terminal 5 thing. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a busy day, but it's gonna be really fun. As we just went through, there's a ton of really good fights. It's just gonna be like, and it's gonna be all day like that. It's like an all day prime time. And like I said, my hope is that the builders, I mean, parts of the entire third floor is basically all builders, so you all get to like look over the balcony and look down at any point in time of the day.
Ooh, that's cool.
You're pretty close to like spectating areas. Like again, like wander over to the second floor balcony and look down. Like check it out. But yeah, it's going to be fun.
So the big cage is going to be here somewhere in the center, right?
Closest to like where we're sitting in this photo. Yeah,
closest to where we're looking from the stage right now.
Yeah.
Little cage is going to be somewhere here too, and then spectators on the side here,
both sides and the back,
both sides and the
big
back.
U shape, and this is like And this is like walkout. You guys are gonna during prime time. You're gonna walk out from the stage.
Yeah, that'll be.
Oh,
really
that's cool.
Yeah,
Wait,
that'll
will
be
you
pretty
have
cool.
theme music? Will theme music be a thing?
I don't know. We really should. It gets hard with copyrights.
That would be so nice. Well,
See,
even just
when
like a nice guitar riff or two. You know, just it'd be nice.
When
I
are
know
you
Builders
guys
have been
gonna
asking
shell
about it
out for
recently.
copyright? Come on,
It might be,
man.
we might just have to go on our copyright-free license and get a bunch of like cool
Would be nice.
sounding things.
Yeah, right.
Because I think that's the one thing about Builder Walkouts is if you have a little like like a stinger
If
or a
you
riff,
got
it'd
a
be nice to
song.
fill the air too.
I think there is in the broadcast, right? But I don't think you hear it in
It's
the
the boom jiggle.
Yeah, I don't. If you don't hear
Boom
it,
jiggle.
yes. So
You've never heard of the boom jiggle? The boom jiggle.
Oh, no. No.
That should I explain it right now, or should I explain
you need
it later?
No, you need to sing it.
now you have to. 'cause that's on
hang on.
screen.
Let me clear my. How does it go? Wait, let me find it. It's on my Spotify.
Man.
Wait, the NHL like
Of course.
song?
They
No.
played this song during when was it? Guys, was it All Stars or was it Teams?
Yeah, it's probably teams. Because teams had
Da
like
boom, da boom,
The boom jiggle. Yeah.
will this ruin the stream, Jake? Okay, yeah. As long as he's doing it, as long
Nailed
as
it.
it doesn't ruin the stream.
Well, it's copyright free, so I can sing it as much as I want on our podcast. Well, that's why they used it, is because it was like
right.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, well, our copyright free service is Epidemic, so go on there, find your song and send it to Colby, and maybe he'll include it as your walkout.
Comments? That could be
maybe. That's more than usual. That's pretty good.
No
Maybe's
promises.
pretty good. I don't know. I'll take a maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Honestly, it's like one less thing Colby has to worry about, so he probably appreciate you guys finding copyright free songs on Epidemic and telling him what MP3 to play.
It's like we were saying earlier about builders having like the artistic angle to it. Like I promise you, builders can figure out the angle to decorate the robots with visuals. They'll find audio to match it too, and then within reason,
Okay.
guide it. I'm just saying. We'll see.
All right. Jake just wants Rammstein.
Yeah, I do.
Dude, every time I see you on Discord and I see your Spotify pop up, you're always listening to Rammstein.
It's because I'm usually running the mill, and that takes a level of authority that can only be brought by German hard rock. That's cool. The venue was formerly a nightclub called Club Exit.
Yeah,
Also known
I think
as Mirage and Carbon until its
I think
closure
Club
by the
Exit-
Drug Enforcement Administration.
I think the Club Exit sign is still on the 55th Street side.
Okay, cool.
Oh, great.
Cool.
So maybe it will be a club later.
Oh wait, we're in Hell's Kitchen. Daredevil's there. Marvel fans, you know what I'm talking about.
So load in will be from 56th Street.
No,
The
55th.
Oh, from 50. Okay, I didn't pay attention. So from 55th Street, and then come on. Just tell me where to be and when. just tell me who I fight first.
I had the builder meeting and Jake texts me, "Do I have to be in this?" and you still didn't pick up on all the things you're supposed to pick up on.
Well, yeah, that's why we're reviewing it in front of the public right now.
Yeah, that's why we're going over it now. This is really great
Right.
podcast material for us to go over
that was
the load-in logistics for Jake Hoffman.
yeah. Remind me. Okay, cool.
Where's the keys? You Google the keys.
All right, Brandon, bring us back, Jake.
Yeah.
Terminal,
I'm sorry.
Terminal 5 stuff.
Too much Terminal 5. All right.
So as far as it's going, like NHL is setting up Terminal 5. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm already excited to see the direction of the sport, where it's going, because the intention is to show it more people, make it more live, have the best of the best, get them preparation as well, because they also their game by raising the bar of the competition itself. That can add a level of prestige. It's like kind of gets into like a point of like, as much as you can as we summarize for us, like what is sort of the as NHRL is pushing forward in kind of interesting directions like this. One example is Terminal 5. Another example, November Pro Tour, I believe, is the other events being pulled into for NHRL.
Oh, yeah.
It was like RoboCore, Hive Hysteria, Texas Robot Combat, probably some more I can't think of off my head, but definitely in there too. About Rampage New Zealand.
Scroll, yeah.
G-Scroll, absolutely. So there's sort of like different learnings going on between these different events. Terminal 5, September Pro Tour, and then other events, November Pro Tour, maybe a different place. You can let us know otherwise. But sort of like, what's the learning NHL is trying to pull in for 2026? Like, what's the strategy that is leaning toward?
It's right now, NHL is a lot of things to a lot of people. And on one hand, I definitely see the value of that. And I see like how that is really amazing, and it makes this amazing community and gives people these opportunities to to be on TV. But at the same time, it's not sustainable. Certain aspects of that are going to have to sort of fall away, and we are going to have to start to put them into the hands of the G Scrolls and Robocore and all that. Which is, I think, I don't want to say it's like our main focus, but we want to still give people the pathway into NHL or pro. We should say pro league or pro tour, really.
Pro versus open, yeah.
So if we continue to run 8 opens a year, we don't have time or money to be able to focus on that growth. We are going to spend all of our time and energy running opens. And no shade here, but we can't keep spending energy on people showing up with cobbled together SSP kits, not knowing how to program ESCs and things like that. And again, no shade. Like, everybody's got to start somewhere, and I love that we've been able to do that, but it can't keep. Because then we also just like never see that builder again too. Because we're not spending effort on it. So in a nutshell, that's the big like overarching goal, is to continue to grow pro, continue to get people a path into that. And then also, if you think about it kind of like minor league baseball or something, have opportunities to find the next whoever, Lars or something. And we can't also do all that discovery. So putting some of that power into the hands of the smaller EOs is a possible way to do that. And it may not be the way. It may not be. We may learn a lot. It may not be the absolute best way, because I've also, I had a really good conversation with Alex Curtis about how some of this, he's starting to see how this is changing the competitors at G-Scroll. And on one hand, that's very great for an EO to see like really good competitive bots show up to something that he's been running for years and trying to get people to like look at and listen to and be interested in. But at the other hand, what does that happen to people who just want to show up and kind of just have fun? Or people who, does he have to make 2 classes? And so I don't want to create those problems for Alex, using Alex as a very specific example. But I think we have to figure out a really good balance there, where we can't also be the local EO. And on the other side of this coin too, is like, if I'm a high school student or a college student living in California, we've heard all the time about the expense of traveling, and that NHL is basically, in one spot, which this starts to get into some of the T5 stuff. By empowering an EO out west to basically qualify people for Pro Tour, and then Pro Tour or Pro League, because something that is actually a place where you can make money doing it, that's a really great path for those people. And then conversely, let's go and take this to New York and see how this goes and see how we can do it starts to lead into, yes, doing it in more places more frequently is another goal. Because as we've already said, and as we all know, seeing it live is just so different. And we want to give people that opportunity to like see what this thing is all about. And then again, if you're partnering with a local EO in that same area, say, oh yeah, NHL did this. These are their pro builders. Amazing, cool. You're really inspired to do this. Well, here's a local competition where you can cut your teeth, learn from your local community, join their Discord, whatever, and you can ladder right into this thing that you just saw. So I think, to put it really broadly, and I know that's like very much like painting with a broad brush and not giving a ton of details, but that is the goal, for us to help build the base, but also the middle of the pyramid of pro. It's a pyramid. It's just a pyramid scheme.
That's interesting.
Finally, we did it.
Interesting.
Everyone who's ever hated, you did it. You found the answer.
That's an interesting shape. Interesting. I like that scheme. Yeah, right.
Yeah. The full triangle experience.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say, as far as like the building goes, the leagues go, I do remember that was sort of the angle NHL's been going for a while, and it's been attention. I figured XP was kind of the internal view of that to a degree. It's kind of the okay, let's have our more serious class people, the the open, and then the XP being like the grow towards it, and to a degree that still exists because XP still exists obviously. But do you see that kind of thing happening where NHRLs, presumably like you take the show on the road, Terminal 5 footstep, I don't know, you end up in like Philadelphia, and then you're suddenly, like in Dallas, like kind of like the World Cup, hopped around different parts of the U.S. in the same way, other big places. Do you see that becoming the idea, and then like a call the kind of the Western region, the Eastern region?
Exactly. Yeah. Something that is a bit more of an ecosystem for those EOs. The initial conversations with like Zoe and Alex and Peter, where we're working through all these things right now, it's very much like we trust the three of you, trying to create some sort of like another piece of work for you to do right now. We don't have this ecosystem. We don't have this portal yet for you to be able to log and track these things. We trust you enough to say your top 6, you've competed here, your top 6 can show up with a working robot and compete. And that was our sort of simplified version as to like, let's see how this goes. Because just to kind of jump back to XP for a split second, us trying to do some of the XP stuff ourselves was very much okay, we need to give those newest builders a place to go. Let's try to see if we can kind of add this onto opens. And ultimately, they've gotten kind of just pushed to the side, and it's really unfair to them. And I think I've seen that. I know builders have seen it. What was I was going to make a greater point about that, but basically, we just know that again, to be all things to all people, we just know that we can't also be the ones figuring out if people are ready. And you shouldn't have to like have a super tight relationship with NHRL for us to notice you. Simply put,
that's a good point. Like feeling like you're
like I try to when new builders come to NHRL, I try everything I can to show them some sort of familiarity and hospitality about what we are. We do the orientation thing for new builders. You guys haven't been new builders in a long time. We literally walk these people around the building. We say like, this is where all the things are. This is what you can do. This is what you can't do, etc. Do you have questions? Cool. I'm Kaspr. This is Ariel. Like, we are here to help you. But again, as there's a point where it's like, I don't want to call it diminishing returns, but there's a point where you just you can't do it for everybody.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So
in a similar way, on the other side of that, let's go to the pro side for some older builders going in there. So I know that you have, in this case, we have our strata of September pro builders. You have others from June, others will be in November. There's probably going to be more pro builders than there will be pro spots per event. That are like a constant like shifting door up. Like I can imagine very easily the world where you have your top 30 robots, let's say in a weight class, 3s, 12s, 30s. But realistically, you have, especially in 3-pounders, like you'd end up developing like 60 really good 3-pounders that end up battling it out for their role or their chance to do a pro tour or something like that. And I know on the builder side, a fear that comes up, potentially the dark side of creating that very strong world of both brand identity and team synergy, all kind of stuff before, is the concern of will I fall out of favor, or will I now have to treat robot combat perhaps in the same level of intensity as jobber sport? And something you already mentioned that sort of anyway, you can make money out of it. Part of it. Similar way, I can also see builders, many of whom either began sport recently or very far back, looking at it and saying, well, that's part of the joy is that I can do this outside of my real job. Like my real job is kind of boring, but the robot stuff are really cool and like it's really creative. Now, at some point, now that perhaps I feel more invested into it, now I'm running that risk of, well, I think that even though I've gotten a really good win percentage and I've won A, B, and C events, I've even maybe won the NHRL Open. Let's say. You got a golden dumpster, but then ultimately you're like, dang, but I'm only like ranked 31 out of 30 in the top 30 you got pulled the last Pro Tour event. That also becomes a risk for some builders, I imagine. So I sort of see NHL developing in that pro direction. What do you kind of see that potentially happening to people's maybe their relationship or view to the sport or just NHL within the sport because of that more competitive angle built into it?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that makes that hard is like the history of NHRL. You know, what it was, what it's become. You have a lot of people who, talk about what, it used to be easier and simpler and, it was a weird part of the night and all these things. And it was so much better then. And the thing, it's hard because I'm probably going to sound a bit like a jerk, but the analogy that I've used, and I think, which comes from just the art world, the world I know the best, let's say, although that's slowly changing. I know a lot of people's first and last names and robots, but and Discord handles.
But so much useless information.
I think the more people doing artwork in the world, and I mean that really broadly, music, theater, dance, creative writing, sculpture, all of it. The more people doing it, the better. You know that within the scope of, let's just say, actors, okay, there's like such a range of what that means to different people going down that path. There are people who do community theater. There are people who do like commercials. There are people who want to be in Hollywood, on Broadway, whatever. And there's different levels there. And knowing where your, let's call it, ceiling is within your world. So in this case, robotics. And then being okay with that. Climbing the ranks and getting out of, spot number 31 just may not be what you want to do. And you may not want to go down the pro tour, pro league. You may not want to take that time to devote to it to get there. And I, as an actor, I'm not, but I, as an actor, may be okay with doing semi-local theater, the improv shows, and some stand-up, and I'm good there. I'm not trying to get on, the silver screen. So, and that's fine. And there's room for all those people. I love landscape painters as much as I love like super high-end gallery work. It's all important. It all needs to exist. And there just can't be a one-stop shop for that. The MoMA is not going to show my paintings.
Right.
I'm fine with that.
Right.
I recognize why. I recognize why that institution exists. And I think NHRL isn't that different. I'm not trying to say we're the MoMA, but
I think you
get the analogy.
People are freaking out in our chat right now. I don't think easy boys, easy, relax, easy.
I'm so
easy.
Well,
it's not terrible.
TLDR, what we got?
There's concerns about like there just doesn't exist the cages, the physical infrastructure for like 12s and 30s.
Yeah.
And so
that's a problem. And that's a gap. That's a big gap.
Right.
Big gap.
Yeah, right. Because like I can see the threes absolutely can have this kind of this structure built up quite readily. And I went to my first local event ever over the just a month ago. And it was a blast.
Hey, NHRL is like your first robotics. You never like did a local.
No. I just straight up. No, I did one NRL high school event. We were the only college team there, and we were the bad guys because it was, because it was a bunch of college students and then a bunch of high schoolers. So we walked out and like people booed us. It was awesome.
Yeah. I think the 12s and 30 things is is a really good observation. I've talked to Zoe.
Yeah,
about
right.
this. It was like one of the first things she said to me.
Yeah.
She was just like, where the 12s and 30s going to go?
Yeah,
I'm
right.
like, dang,
Great question.
True.
you're right.
Dang. Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So what I would like to see, and this is like all very like ethereal Casper's Dreamland,
Right.
where like we are also helping to provide the tools, which include cages, the tools for EOs to be able to grow what they do.
Yeah.
So, and that those tools also include like whatever NHRL portal, which we're literally currently building now, and Brett Zone recordings and ranking systems and tournament software and all that.
Yeah.
If we have one ecosystem for that digitally and EOs can plug and play, everybody has an iPhone. You can stick an iPhone in the cage corner.
Sure.
You can run a ref terminal on an iPad, press go, and it automatically records all your angles with the tech that we already have.
Yeah, right.
Why shouldn't we provide that to everybody?
Yeah,
Why shouldn't everybody have access to that? If for nothing else, just to run their event better.
Yeah, right.
They don't necessarily have to ladder into what we do. But also, if all these local events all have that, including the cages, we can at a glance click random bot number 2 and say,
yeah,
holy, they've like been climbing the ranks all over the Southeast.
Right.
Why we shouldn't give them a wild card. Let's look at some of the footage. Let's look at the fights on Brett Zone.
Well,
random event in Georgia.
You're gonna laugh. I lost because my opponent got stuck in the wall at
You lost?
yeah, the monkey's paw finally curled, and yeah. So I pull out, and it's this horizontal, and it rips up, and I'm like, that's a little scary. And so I just head first slam into it because I'm like, I'm gonna do my thing, right? And he just rips through me for a second, and then he gets stuck in the wall. I'm like, okay, great. There's no way. After all these times I've lost, there's no way I'm losing this, right? And they can't get it out of the wall, and they're like, we're gonna send it to a judge's decision. I'm like, awesome. I'm fucked. Sorry. I'm hosed. I'm screwed. Sorry. I'm hosed. And my grandmothers were there.
Oh, are they the ones who cussed out the EOs?
They didn't cuss them out. They just demanded to see the score sheets. It was very funny, but walking away from that. What? Sorry.
I don't hear
what?
anything.
What were you gonna say?
Start saying again, Jake. You peeked out too fast.
Yeah, you
so we
cut
couldn't
out.
hear you.
Walking away from that, I felt like my major takeaway was, there needs to be like a national rule set that is like got some level of uniformity across the board.
Yeah.
I mean, technically there is Spark.
Yeah, right, but yeah, there is Spark, but like, which is supposed to be the rule set, but is not being observed by.
All right.
To go back to the
my answer, calm down the chat. Yeah, that's what I want.
They got more excited in different ways. Different ways.
All right.
Well, different ways. But to go back to your original point before of review, there's something I thought about as well that would come with the reality of having multiple leagues as well as regulating the league pros versus the leaders with it, as it did like commissioners or like how do they regulate stuff.
Right.
Like there's a future where you have an NHRL commissioner who has to or will be their role in some regard to organize these related leagues in some way and then stream them into pro accordingly to shape the story and whatnot like that. That's the nature of the MLB, nature of the NBA, nature of pretty major sport. I imagine that becoming is the same way. I mean, the World Cup is just the best example because it's the biggest organized sporting event in the world. You have the FIFA leadership, which says we're going to work in conjunction with every nation's teams. Majority of the world teams by the vast amount, and they handshake. Then you have like the North American region, South American, Europe, Asia, Africa, and Oceania. They all work together, feeding out here are our top 10 teams or whatever. But then what made the World Cup this unique that FIFA said, let's go down to more teams, 48, like the 24, 32 that's usual. Part of that was because FIFA says we believe these teams are still pretty solid. And there was a level of qualification that gave, like there's tie breaks and goal differentials and blah, 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 which is in short FIFA's way of saying
this is how we know this is going to be an interesting team, or will we trust it? And the result of that, at least being a soccer fan, is one of the best World Cups of all time.
Mhm.
I'll personally tell you that the nation, like the USA, was enthralled. You had teams like Cabo Verde, one of the like 6th smallest nation in the world, something like that, nearly defeat Argentina, the reigning champs, and held Spain, who are the now champs. And you're like, wait a minute, this team is so small they would never exist because of the size difference between other nations in Africa. But by simple virtue of FIFA unleashing the wave to them, set the 2 strongest nations in the world.
Yeah.
And that allows fascinating play. And then the whole rest of the tournament's just like that. So I imagine NHRL could see something like that. And I think, like you kind of already mentioned, those wild card spots speak to it to a degree. But do you see that kind of thing happening with this further future NHRL view?
Yeah.
Where you have the high hysterias and so on and so forth.
Right now, I think it's pretty obvious there's the biggest advantage for the people who are the most competitive at NHRL are the ones who live the closest. Like let's just be real. They're ones who can come, the Julians and the Joshes that can come to every single event. So I think so. I think there are good and really good and competitive people out there, really smart engineers, really smart thinkers and tinkerers and all the things, but like access to this is hard. And so to provide more access, again, through the places that already exist in their area, it is the way to do it. We're not going to go set up shop in Dallas. We got TRC there. Why would we do that?
Right.
But to empower TRC to find and to get those competitors into their space is incredible for the sport, I think.
No, that's good. Because then, well, at the same time with that, it also builds good connection and creates the national view. So I remember before, back when it was called Norwalk Havoc, and now it's National Havoc, that was when the argument's being made. It was like, oh, this is best in the world, but the world currently means it's one town in Connecticut, not even like a major city.
Right.
And that somehow drives the power levels of robot combat in North America, at least. And now you sort of get this more national vibe, even if it's still a bit more East-centric, just because it's in the East. But it leads to that kind of viewpoint, I imagine, where you're creating the national vibe, and with it, perhaps that reorientation of the league towards it.
Well,
So
and even
it's interesting that dynamic happening.
Even some like regional, sort of tribalism too.
Very true.
JMO just said regions would be a really cool idea for the return of NHRL teams. And let me tell you, me and Toby from Kentucky, we are ready to go, baby. We're lined up. Put me and Toby in.
But, if you've got a bunch of, again, just TRC builders that come up, all of a sudden, all the Texas people are showing up in force. They're all rooting for Texas. This goes back to the fandom stuff. It goes back to the things that get just people excited and interested, and rooting for their hometown heroes.
Yeah, no, like Teams is a big. I think Teams was a great success. So Builders' eyes, Teams' Builders' eyes, and Sherelle's eyes, fans' eyes, because it tied into the tribalism so much. Like I said, the World Cup is probably the best because everyone gets it. It's like, who am I rooting for? The USA. Why? Because I'm from the USA.
yeah. That's it.
It's the simplest possible angle to go into it.
Yeah.
So, and it reminds me a billion times how we've had the invasions across every 1 or 2 events. It's like, okay, this is the British event where the Brits show up. This is the Brazilian event where they show up. The Texas event, the Midwest event, so on and so forth, where we have your Easterners, but then you have our faithful invading. I think then becomes a little tricky maybe, because then you also think, well, who's your top team in the Midwest if you have 50 to 60 different massive builders who could all angle that same way. But it is probably a way I imagine. And that's where you get interesting personal versus regional difference team wise.
And the teams event and the Kiwi style stuff comes up a lot as we talk about these things, because again, just this, taking some words out of Gil's mouth to start to take some of the onus off of us to make sure people are ready. And now it's on to the Black Cat Club to make sure that their builders are ready. It's, we don't necessarily look at it as these 3 robots. We look at it as, this club, this team. And And I think it comes up a lot when we talk about future schedules and future seasons and what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. But yeah, the teams event is brought up constantly. So believe me, it's on our radar too, and definitely something we talk about all the time.
Is there any concern between like a private team versus assigning teams? So before, like a Black Hat Club is the team locally that can be made. People can choose to form it. Versus, let's say you say, okay, I want your NorCal and SoCal teams go, and you have 3 slots for each of those teams, but 100 builders in each of those slots could all.
I mean,
the other thing,
yeah, I mean, it's right now. It's definitely self-imposed teams, which again we just saw a new team form within the last month. So Black Cat isn't that old either, and break-off teams and things like that. But something else that comes up a lot in these conversations, especially as we talk about pro league and people getting paid to do this, is you start talking about private teams. I mean, if Red Bull comes in, think of F1 and that F1 franchise model, right? Like you got a Red Bull team, you got a Google team, whatever. You've got a Coca-Cola team, and I think how those teams would come together, man, I have no idea. It would probably be some sort of advisory panel. I don't know what application process. I have no idea. Right now, it is still a little scrappy of oh yeah, we're all friends, so we formed a team, which is awesome. I'm kind of into it. Yeah, as it is right now.
Yes.
I mean, Black Hat Club needs a 30 in their roster, but we're getting there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Did that answer your question? I don't know if I answered it.
Maybe if
I agree.
If I win, I'll build a 30. If I win a bunch
Ooh.
of stuff.
Oh, a bunch of stuff. Oh, and now all of a sudden it's a bunch of stuff, not just if he wins.
I don't know. I want to build a 30 though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just bought a bunch of steel. So
we got 30 slots open in October.
Don't say that.
I can't do that. No.
The 12s are full. The 12s.
You want to give me a big pile of money?
Also, Jake, am I muted in your deck by any chance?
Are you? No. I'm pulling you from Discord right now.
Oh, never mind. Yes,
you're good.
But first of all, 30s are scary. Be afraid. Having done 30s they challenge you, especially because, like I always say, it's a utopia until you meet the black hole in the middle, and it just eats you alive. So it's always a fun learning bit for that. Yeah. But also, it's very true. Once you build the 1230 infrastructure, like you're saying before, you're going to get more competitive 30s.
Yes. Right.
And 30s, particularly because of their more high cost, definitely more dynamic nature, like they just take damage differently than somebody else does, and generally higher complexity to take that kind of damage. You kind of self-regulate accordingly.
Sure.
I think at some point it's going to be, I think 30s will always stay less than 3s by nature. 12s will be somewhere between the two by nature in the exact same way. It's more how do you make them closer? How do you make the line from almost a straight vertical to sort of a 45 horizontal maybe?
I would rather take the money for a 30 and invest it in testing facility for myself here in Cincinnati than put it into another robot that I can't test. You know what I mean? So I'm at the point where infrastructure is more important to me than the
and that's how you get better,
right?
Because obviously that's part of why it's been such a good thing for the Maryland teams, because we have the Hive.
Oh my gosh, the cage at the Hive is running all the time. Yeah, right.
Yeah, we're constantly running robots, whether it's myself, every couple of weeks I'll bring Phenomenon or something else down there to do testing. Joe does Dead Rise testing. Liam's got Buzzkill. Any other robots and Honeycracked. Everyone's working on that thing. Everyone's always learning about that thing. So that leads you with a much stronger 1230-pound field. That being said, you still have some legacy beasts that still hurt, and a lot of them grinded their stuff out years ago. Just part of why they're so good. But it's part of why, at the same time, if you're not a college team with super resources, a local who can test frequently, or maybe just have some raw audacity and just keep coming back over and over, it's hard to make a really good 30.
True.
And that's part of the interesting bit, as far as like team regulations go. Because I feel like if you nail 30-pound, 12 pounds less so, but at least 30-pound entry sizes, that becomes the axis which you build the teams around. I remember during teams that was like the thing, like, oh, we have a lot of threes, cool. Anyone have a 12? Yeah, I know this guy. Okay, but where's our 30?
Yeah, right.
You can find that 30 anchor.
Yeah.
You like, okay, like a great example, Colossal Avian was the bird. And you're like, okay, we have a hammer saw 30 pounder as a bird theme. Let's make a bird themed team around Colossal Avian. And that's what happened because it just works. So
just put a gun on it. Just put a gun on it.
Just put a
my
gun
favorite. My favorite.
I've heard lasers and EMPs.
I can't wait for all the new viewership that we're gonna get, and I have to answer that question a million times. Can we do an FAQ that like goes into the stream where it's just like, okay, this is why everything's a spinner. It's like a lot of kinetic energy, like more kinetic energy than a gun.
Like we do. I feel like we try to do explainers, but just like nobody listens or reads.
I think it's because they just see the boom. They kind of like the log out, see big boom, back in kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm thinking as far as like teams go. So I think this idea of teams, I mean, Jameson's been blasting it the entire time in the chat.
Yeah, he's freaking out in there.
He's crashing out, but it's
crashing
like
out.
Teams,
what poor Jameson? What did we do?
teams.
He wants teams. He wants teams back.
He wants more teams. Yeah. He's a big fan of teams. I can't argue with him. I think most people are. I think a lot of people love that idea about teams, mentioned it earlier and all that kind of stuff.
The Kiwi events are cool too. The Kiwi style, like you've got it's 5 different archetypes. You know, it's who are you going to put in? There's strategy there. It's a cool. Gil's a really big fan of the Kiwi stuff, and I am too. And it keeps people engaged and it adds. You know, it's like I don't know what's the reality show, The Voice. You know, it's like I'm selecting this singer. You know, I'm selecting this robot. This is what we're putting in to fight this, and this is why.
Yeah.
No, I'm feeling that.
Yeah.
I mean, if things work out, I'm gonna hopefully join some people going down there next year. We'll see.
Oh,
It'd
cool.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I want to just like study that. Like I want to be in that scenario. I want to see what it looks like, and as I'm doing that, think about my time at HRL, and then hopefully come back and say this part was good. I liked this part more, but I think this part could have been improved because of something else I remember. Something like that.
Yeah.
Because then if you build all of them up together and you create a massive ecosystem built along these things, you're gonna get a really nice something.
Yeah.
Because something's gonna come together out of these. You're gonna get a rhythm going. And that rhythm's gonna be sweet. I'm looking forward to that day. I would love the idea of really cool combat robots I can both bring family to on a nice summer afternoon, but then also tell them, oh, I'm going to go up to Connecticut. Why? Because I'm going to be among the best of the best, and I'm one of the best. And that's what I like to be able to tell them. That's what they all say anyway.
Yeah.
So I hope that all kind of like links in together to create that full range of life from grassroots to superstar. Nice. I think it's cool.
Yeah, I agree.
I have a concept.
I think it's a good idea.
For Terminal 5. I have a concept for the stage. I think you're gonna like it.
Jesus Christ.
I think you're gonna like it, and I think they're gonna be very cool with it. I mean, they said we're allowed to have fire, so something similar to that.
So you're putting together a Ramstein concert?
Yeah, float that one by Colby.
Okay, yeah, thanks. I will.
I got you.
So we're gonna have a light fire warning alongside Terminal 5 with light robots.
Light fire warning.
Yeah.
Light.
Yeah.
It'd be cool. Good concept. Yeah, but that's sort of been thinking. So it's been good sort of thinking about the future of HRL. So I think September Pro Tour is one of those, hopefully one very pivotal moments you get to look at, and we get to say, oh, this is where we took Neurowalk Havoc and truly made it National Havoc.
Yeah.
You know, already been trying that, but even more so. It's
going to tell us a lot. There are going to be a lot of lessons learned, you know, good and bad, about what's possible, what we need.
Well, it's been the dream for a while too.
Yeah.
It's been the dream. Like the target is to get an event in front of, like out in the world. You know what I mean? So it's cool. It's cool that it's happening. What's the general mood like behind the scenes? And if you wouldn't mind sprinkling in your favorite behind the scenes story, that was a viewer question.
behind the scenes, I mean, it's right now it's full tilt. Everybody's just like on getting this event, put together. There's just so many pieces come together. And when you look at an event of this size, you're typically working with a team of 15, 20 people. We've got 6, so a lot of us are wearing a lot of hats, doing a lot of different things. The interconnectivity of just the departments, but also the things we have to do. And it all starts coming up. You're like, oh, right, that thing is related to this thing. And I need that person to work. And so just right now, the vibe is like really just pedal to the metal. Like, I don't think Labor Day weekend is going to exist as a weekend for any of us.
Yeah.
And then we get to unpack the week after. We get to
man.
bring it all, and then we get to bring it back, and that and unpack
for 3 weeks,
and then 2 weeks later run October.
Oh, 2 weeks worse.
So like,
it's
the gauntlet right now. So like right now the vibe is very like, okay, we got to get it done.
Right.
But it's a pretty fun environment. We all get along really well. We all care a lot, which is like, of course, that passions run high sometimes, but but we do care a lot. And my favorite behind the scenes, I saw that question from Gwen, and I took
it. Was a great question. It was a great question. Give us
first off, there's like 650 cameras in this place. So is anything really behind the scenes? Like, Sam puts everything on Instagram. Like,
this is true.
I run away from him all the time when he's like running around filming.
Fair enough.
But so I think the funniest one, so speaking of passion, was the argument over the giant checks for Pro Tour. Like, it started as, hey, we did this before, should we do it again? No. A week later, hey, does anyone done giant checks? We're not doing giant checks. And then it was, why not? And then it became this whole conversation about giant checks and should we do giant checks and what they should look like and who's going to give them out and blah, 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 blah. And so the last I had heard, this is like 2 days before the event, the last I had heard, we weren't doing giant checks. But no one had, and mostly because like no one had ordered giant checks.
Right.
But as you recall, I have a giant printer. I was team no giant check because it felt corny to me. But I was like, you know what? It's gonna come up. I'm just gonna print these damn things. I'm gonna mount them on foam core, and they're just gonna be there. You got
okay. I couldn't remember if you guys ended up doing it or not. Sorry for spoiling the story. Yeah. Okay.
So we we're talking about these stupid giant checks. I print them anyway. I had them printed up. Kelly asked about them, and I was like, listen, they're in your office. Like,
it's out of my hands. It's out of my hands.
I don't have
use
a marker,
them or don't.
Nothing. And I'm not kidding. The conversation about the giant checks was happening all day. Who has the giant checks? Where are the giant checks? And literally up until we're in like semifinals, we're in this like back audio room. And Colby comes over, says, Kaspr, can meet in the audio room. I go in there. It's me, Colby, Sam, Danielle, Kelly, our intern.
The heavy hitters.
The intern for the summer in this room, all weighing in on should we write giant checks. And, well, the giant checks won. So the giant checks. Apparently, Josh,
there was like a vote.
Sam, Josh, I don't know if there's a vote. I think it was just like, we're doing it. Shut up.
It was a Kelly vote. I see what happened.
And I think
it's the executive decision.
So fun fact, the routing number is like the 1-800 number from the image that I pulled off the internet.
Great.
1-800. I was gonna Google it.
Don't look it up.
Apparently, Sam interviewed Josh with the Cooking for Kazaa thing, and Josh really likes his giant check. So I think they're here to stay. Which reminds me, I should put printing giant checks back on my to-do list.
For.
Well, I guess first of all, you're welcome to you, and second of all, you're welcome to anyone who's now watching this. So now, just in case you thought September Pro Tour Terminal 5 wasn't big enough, now bigger checks to go.
Oh, I should. Yeah, I can print up to 54 inches wide, so I could probably make
cheese and
twice
bread,
as
man.
Big.
Cheese and bread. You did not lie about that printer, huh?
And then y'all can figure out how you're gonna, travel it back home.
It's a good point.
Actually, what would be funny is doing an actual. I would like it to be an actual check, like
It's
with
scanned.
with the actual that you can
The
actually take it to
Actual
the bank.
router.
So if you want the money, you have to cash the giant check at the bank, just like Happy Gilmore.
So you'd have
Um,
have someone do like a short, blur out the router's number, all kind of stuff, but like have them go into the bank and be like, so I like to cash this check. And they're like, who are you? And you're like, well, let me just show you. Just start pulling out Pro Tour, show it to them, to the teller, and they're like, oh my gosh, you're famous. It's like, yeah, give me that money.
Yeah.
that explains a lot because like Ben won and then he came upstairs and I'm like, dude, where's the trophy? And he's like, they took it from me. They got to give it to the 30s. There was only one of the antennas, and they
have the
just
trophies
had,
now. They're
okay.
They're literally we have to pay the customs fee from DHL. They are here. They exist.
Ooh, what?
What?
Can I ask what they are? I mean, is it
They're-
dumpster? Are they dumpsters?
No,
Or are
it's
they
it's a better version of the lightning bolt thing that was
They're
used.
the lightning
the
bolt.
lightning bolt? Okay.
And it has like its own base. And if I'm
The lightning.
I'm
bolt.
pretty
Is
sure
that
if
what
you
we're
win
calling
more
it?
than one, the shillelagh.
I didn't know what to call it. The
that
antenna.
also was like a last minute. Like, wait, what
Wait,
trophy are we gonna
yeah,
give
right,
them?
right.
Shit. Oh, it's in 2 weeks. We're not gonna be able to make anything custom. And it's like, we have a powder coater, and we have a laser cutter, and we have a welder. So
Fair enough.
lots of things like that. And now they're like anodized, really pretty.
Yeah.
Definitely like a club. Like you can really beat
Right.
snot out of somebody.
Interesting. Okay, so is that? Oh, I guess because you're on stage, you get to do a whole thing about that. That's exciting. You get to do the production.
Yeah.
Like everyone cheered because they had golden check and everyone's jumping up and down. I don't know. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'm imagining the spectacle of it being quite fun, and that's what you get to lean into by going to the event.
Yeah.
Should be a fun time. Interesting.
Dude, the TSA folded my giant check in half. But Jameson goes and
there's a price to pay for winning, you know. I didn't have to worry about that at all.
Yeah,
awesome,
right.
So
just lose all your Pro Tour fights.
Oh man.
Just go two into it Pro Tour.
There's lots of stuff like that. It's just like dumb
dumb
stories,
stuff.
dumb things. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's great. I really enjoy it. Excuse me. Yeah, because actually, just sort of to round out some of your questions here.
Yeah.
Sort of
Let's
begin to wind down.
Lightning round.
Yes.
Yeah. So what from JMO? Funny enough, what about do you want to try driving?
So what did I wrote down?
You wrote down the answers ahead of time?
Because
You're the best guest we've ever had.
There's so many robots. I had to
professional.
So honestly, I went around a lot. Probably Dead Rise. Because we have a Chainsaw Kitty copy here.
Yeah.
And the gyro on Chainsaw Kitty. Kazaya, holy smokes.
There you go.
There you go.
You are
family friendly.
An insane driver. Because just trying to, I don't think we had it turned up all the way. I was like, how does she do this? And seeing Dead Rise, like there was that one where he was like top.
Yeah, completely
spinning,
sideways, just cattywampus.
Turned into a horizontal. So yeah, Dead Rise. But I think Emperor could be really fun too, because it's sort of the same reason. Like it just kind of like wiles out. It's like almost impossible to control. All right.
Okay.
What else you got for me?
Mitchell's threatening you in this one. Favorite robots? Do not say Mako. We can just take that as a given.
Yeah, we can.
Mako is definitely a fave. I started making this like big long list, and I realized that so many of them, and this starts to play into the like y'all need to keep being personalities. So many of them were just because I just like so many of the people. But in like I think Berserker is like one of the best looking robots ever.
Oh geez.
That's so cool.
Anubis. Yeah. Anubis, just because he keeps iterating on, he keeps dialing it in. Anthony's such a good driver. Big fan of Anthony. Monkfish, because it's just like funny, but also really serious. Like that thing don't play. But kooky. Big Buzzkill fan, and Grim Ripper from 12s. Yeah. From 30s. Like I like big hits, so like Kill Switch and Chonky, of course. But my number one that I really want to see win a dumpster is Termigator. I want to see
Termigator.
Yeah.
Brooks win a
Yeah.
dumpster. Like
Yeah.
He beat
I
me.
think it has so
Yeah.
much potential. It's just a spinning
Yeah.
mass to just get
Wide drum of
stuff
death.
fed into it, and I just like I want to see Termigator.
That's
Yeah.
a really
That's-
wow. That's an unexpected answer, but very
But a great
true.
poll.
But very
A great
true.
poll.
Yeah.
That's a deep cut, but that's a good.
Like no one else. Like no. Like again, no shade, but like I'm kind of tired of the 4-wheel drive verts. So I like when I see stuff like
I feel that.
Termigator, where it's like
stupid drum. Yeah,
big
right.
crazy drum just plowing into stuff.
And
So
when
I'm
it
hoping-
wins, it wins so good.
Yeah,
When it
we tried to get them as a wild card for New York. They just couldn't pull
they-
it off.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
maybe
Well,
maybe we'll
it's,
see
it's
him.
such a crazy build. I can.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this like
I-
the width on that
Yeah.
beer is got to be so hard to manage.
Are you broadcasting this
All right.
for its own thing, or are you just looking at it while we're talking?
I'm.
Oh, he's doing a mix of
broadcasting it.
both.
I'm mixing.
Yeah.
I'm mixing.
He mixes in and out.
I'm
All right, what else?
mixing.
What else you got?
All right, I'm going to put two robot questions together with other stuff. So,
Okay.
if you were to build a bot and compete with it, you build one, what archetype would you choose and why, as well as what would you name it? You would build a bot. What's your bot?
Not a 4-wheel drive vert. Just not doing it.
Okay. Not a 4-wheel drive vert. All right.
Maybe a big wheel. I want to
Yeah.
see. We have like no shell spinners. I'd love to see. We've got Rage Bait and Chonky, right? That's like it right now.
Rage Bait is kill, by the way.
Really?
Oh, it got destroyed. The event
It's-
that shell
it's-
wasn't hardened.
so-
That
so-
you didn't see them beating that shell out with a hammer in between.
No, I did. I totally
fights?
missed that.
like a black. They were smithing. They were blacksmithing in the. Oh yeah. No, if
Yeah,
Rage.
I think a shell. If I had to
Yeah.
build one, I think a shell.
Yeah, Dominic
What would you name it?
at UC wants to bring it back.
So I have two very good robot names. One is for my 3 that I'm never gonna build any of them. And it's called Single Use Plastic. And then I really whatever else I would build, it would just be named Your Mom, because I just really want to hear, Ricky say, and Maximizer just knocked your mom into the wall.
Good one.
There's no way that can't
Just
be taken by
jokes.
someone
Just
already.
jokes.
There's-
Y'all
has
can
to
have
be
it.
taken
Y'all
by
can
someone.
have it. I just want to see it exist.
More
Someone,
more
please.
more joke robot names.
Yeah, more. Just think about the commentary. Think about what you're making hosts say.
I was
right.
judging an event and the robot named Unanimous Judge's Decision
That's funny.
just broke everything. Like broke
Everyone.
everything. Like
good.
it just ground the judging to a halt for like 5 minutes while we figured out what was happening.
Let's see. All right, so some non-robot questions for you.
Yeah.
So, from Bobby Rhinestorm, best milkshake flavor.
Root beer.
All right. From
Really?
Ashley,
Yeah, root beer
Sorry.
milkshakes.
Oh,
Ooh,
Okay,
so
sorry.
good.
commentary.
Bananas.
Commentary.
Bananas a close second.
What? Okay, that's crazy.
Okay.
I
All
won't
right,
hold
well,
that against
Civil
you.
War,
That's
you know.
crazy.
All right, so pairing off of JMO and Ashley's questions here,
Yeah.
where to get your cool shirts and how many pairs of colorful shoes do you own? So
All right,
shoes
so
and shirts, where do they come from?
The cool shirts, again, most of them are from my friend Tim, who runs pentimento.shop. So good. So good. And it's like no one makes cool men's stuff. And he does.
Does he have an Instagram?
He does. I think it's just at pentimento.shop.
And-
PNTITIMENTO. There it is. The B. Oh, no.
Pentimento Design.
Pentimento.shop. Right. That's see the black P.
Oh, got it. I'll plug it. Does he care
Yeah,
if I'll plug it in?
No, he would love it. He actually
I'm
made
sending it in
he made
doc.
Sam's Havoc jacket too.
He made
Ooh,
Sam's
okay.
jacket.
That's a nice pull. That's a nice jacket.
Yeah.
You're
I
good
just
stuff,
bought
man.
that.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
nice.
that one's hard.
And my
Yeah, I think it's a
shoes,
great jacket.
eBay is my favorite shoe store. And I'm not a sneakerhead. I wear my shoes. I don't collect them. So I always look for the new without box or new without
Yeah,
tags.
right.
And you can get them like for nothing because
Yeah,
I'm not collecting them.
right.
Yeah. You see a lot
Okay.
of my shirts in this. He's scrolling through the feed, everybody. And it,
Oh, they can see that.
I'm seeing
Don't
my
worry.
shirt. I'm seeing my shirts.
I haven't. Wow, you have a lot of shirts because I haven't recognized a single one of these, which means
I've seen at least 2 of those. But to continue, from
I gotta pay more
Gwen,
attention.
top 3 breakfast sandwiches in the Norwalk area, please.
Okay, Norwalk is a weird black hole for breakfast sandwiches. Like they're so bad.
Really?
Yeah, they're just like there's nothing that great. Also, I'm a huge chorizo, egg, and cheese fan, and there's basically no place that sells chorizo, egg, and cheese. But the best ones in the area. So the Norwalk Art Space Cafe, which is somewhat close to NHRL so when you're here next, and they have the best coffee in the area. It's an art gallery, but they also have a really well run cafe in the back. They make a really good croissant, egg, avocado, and like chili aioli or something sandwich is really good. And then that's my highbrow. And then you go real lowbrow, Donut Delight, which is a chain up here, makes a chorizo. I eat a chorizo, egg, and cheese on an English muffin. But one of the best chorizo, egg, and cheese is another gallery / coffee shop in Bridgeport called Ursa. And they make a banging chorizo, egg, and cheese.
Well, competitors, now before events, you know where to go.
Before
we go back Havoc.
Yep, Norwalk Art Space Cafe.
All right, we'll do one more food question and then probably one more last question, round it out. So, Jeff from Stickler asked, Kaspr, I'm taking a 10-minute break to grab some dinner downstairs. I want to bring anything up for you.
Yeah, grab me a plate of the chicken piccata if it's dinner time for sure. And if it's lunch, I'll have one of the chicken parm sliders. Thanks.
Oh, sweet. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it.
Good looking out.
Finally, from the business cat of Slam Plan and huge fame, I want to know more about the sticker spelling of Kaspr.
Oh, I feel
this
like
is a huge question.
I know. I feel like I should.
This one is huge.
I feel like I shouldn't answer.
That's why it's the last one. It's the big one. It's the big momentous finale.
So, yeah, I don't know. Okay, I'll answer it because this is like these are super fans, right? Super fans need.
Yeah.
These are for our people.
Everyone's asking.
So Kaspr is an anglicized Polish last name. Basically, there's a second half of the name that got cut off. It's Kasprzyk, and so it's just missing the last half of the name. But it is actually it is my last name.
KSPR.
Jake is Googling
the Polish
it.
one. Say the Polish one again.
Real time.
Yeah, that's my job. What? Say the Polish.
What did you say it again?
Just add a ZYK onto the end of that.
Oh, I see now. Okay, that's why.
The name of
because it got cut off. No, that makes sense. I see how that changed now.
Meaning son of Kaspr. Great. that really clears things up.
Yeah. Yes. That's it. It's not just a. I think I heard. Oh no! I had a friend who was sitting in the stands, and the Kazaa team was sitting near them, and I think Brian, not Titanium White Brian, but other Brian, was sitting there, and they were poo-pooing my name Kaspr because they thought I was just like being cool. And my friend turned around and says, that's his last name, right? And they were like what? I had no idea. I had no idea. They thought I was just being cool.
It is
and the reason I go by it here, just in case people don't know, is when there's like 100 Brians here. So it was just easier when I first started. They kept saying Brian, and then people get confused about what Brian you're talking about. So we all just go by basic last names.
I mean, it's true. So we call him Jake Maximizer. Same idea.
Yeah, too many Jakes.
He's only the Maximizer, so that's why it works out.
There's a shocking lack of Jakes compared to other circles I've been in.
I mean, you get some bigger points to Robot Circle. There are other Jakes around.
Yeah.
But he's the Jake Maximizer.
Jake Ewart comes to mind.
Exactly. At least one other big Jake.
Yeah. But sweet. I mean, I didn't live with a roommate who wasn't named Jake until I lived on my own. And I had
2 friends named Brian in high school, and we all hung out together. We were all 3 Brians. And
that's crazy.
That sounds Brian's plural. Nice. So many Brians.
Nice. That sounds brutal. It's like Brian, which one? Oh my gosh.
And then it was middle name, so I was Brian Richard.
Okay. So I had to go a different way. Okay. We figured it out. We'll be figured it out.
All right, thank you so much,
My pleasure.
Kaspr. This was a blast. I'm so excited for the future of NHRL. Thank you for sharing your advice on design.
Yeah, we talked about that for a long time.
Yeah, we did.
It was good stuff. It was great stuff.
It was
I loved
great.
it.
It was great. Thank you so much, Brandon. We'll be back
Yes,
at you
thank you both.
soon.